What's up, guys? In this video, I'm going to be reacting to this by Beastmode Jones, Greg Doucette, the beta cuck on roids. So for those of you who have not been following the YouTube drama in the past couple days between Greg Doucette and Tiger Fitness, Beastmode Jones, I don't know, are there other people? Who else has weighed in on this? I'm not really sure. I think Every Damn Day Fitness made a video. But anyway, basically what happened, as far as I know, is that there was a thread posted on Reddit that said, "Oh, today I learned Greg Doucette is a snitch and, you know, fucking ratted out a bunch of people to avoid a heavy prison sentence for selling drugs, selling steroids." And they linked to an article that had no mention of him snitching or avoiding a prison sentence or anything like that. It was just kind of implied and does not seem to be true. And I'll go over why it does not seem to be true later in the video. But this has caused kind of an uproar in the YouTube fitness community because these guys are coming hard at Greg Doucette for apparently that reason, or the reason that they're doing natty, that he's doing natty on videos. But anyway, I don't want to get too into it. Let's just start watching this video because it's a doozy.
Good, homies and homettes, so check it out. You already know it's Black Friday season, man. It's been a rough year for a lot of people, but man, I got a really strong feeling next year it's gonna be new beginnings for a lot of us. Alright, so check it out though. Tiger Fitness, like I told you in the last video, we're going 25% off. We got outright bars, we got pump stations sucks, we got intra pump BCAAs, we got pump and grind pre-workout, pump stations headbands, jump bands, fuck with us, baby, fuck with us. We got more stuff on the way. You already know that contest is coming. Alright guys, so now we got that the way. Go to tigerfitness.com, fuck with the movement, you feel me? Let's go ahead and get the elephant out the room real quick. Absolutely, yes, I threw this motherfucker's name in for views. Are you fucking serious? It is Black Friday. Are you fucking serious? Black Friday. Time to boost sales. You feel me? What better way to boost sales than throw somebody's name in that's getting views, right? And, you know, I'm pretty sure Greg can appreciate it because, shit, that's how he boosted his channel, shit. He boosted his motherfucking channel using other fuckers' names for views. Using other motherfuckers' names for views. So, hey, motherfucker, don't get mad or be disappointed that somebody wised up, right, took your blueprint and used it against you. Shit, hell. I like views, motherfucker. I like sales, motherfucker. Shit. I'm making my way cookbook, too. Shit. Mediocre ass cookbook. I'm probably gonna make a cookbook just like Greg's, guys. Make a cookbook just like Greg's, but I'm gonna do double the recipes, and then I'm gonna sell it for half the price. You feel me? I'm gonna do that, man. Greg needs a little competition. You feel me? I think what makes us better is competition. I think Greg needs a little competition. You know, he's so used to talking about people and not getting responded to. So, yeah, I'm gonna start working on that cookbook real soon, sometime next year, guys. Be looking out for my cookbook. It's gonna have double the recipes for half the price. You know, I usually stay out of stuff like this, you know, because I've been seeing the guy make videos around about people for a while, and I usually stay out of stuff like this. But one thing rubbed me the wrong way the other day. So he makes a video about Russ Swole, right? And he was wrong. And then he tried to, after he was wrong, he pretty much apologized for it. But one thing rubbed me the wrong way. He said, "See, guys, this is how you respond to people." No, motherfucker. I don't play that shit. Listen here. You don't accuse somebody of taking PEDs, which is illegal, by the way. You don't throw allegations at somebody's door and have the right, the audacity to tell them how to respond. Now, I'm not trying to make this a racial thing, guys. I know race is a touchy thing, but especially a white motherfucker. Ain't no white man telling my black ass how to do a motherfucking thing.
So, a lot to unpack there, right? A lot to unpack there. Let's kind of just take it one by one, though, right? So, well, I guess let's talk about the most interesting stuff first, right? That he brought, you know, race into it. No white motherfucker is going to tell, did he say my black ass? I don't remember if he said that. Maybe I'm just paraphrasing, but like, you know, no white motherfucker is going to tell me what to do. Could you, and I understand that. I get it. Fine. I understand why a black guy, I guess, would say that. Appropriate? No, not really. Not really appropriate in this case, because I mean, for obvious reasons, it's not a racial issue, right? It's not like Greg said, "Oh, here's this black guy taking steroids. Black people shouldn't take steroids." You know, he didn't turn it into this, like, he kept it purely fitness, right? And in fact, you know, like let's talk about another elephant in the room, right? It's kind of assumed in, at least in the United States, that like on average, black guys are like stronger and more muscular and more physically fit and run faster and run longer distances. And they're just like physically, genetically superior when it comes to athleticism, right? That's something that is kind of just assumed and not talked about, I guess. That said, Greg has never mentioned it in any of his videos. Not a single one. I've watched a bunch of his Natty or Not videos. A lot of them, you know, I would say, I don't know, a lot, maybe 20% are on black guys. Never once has he mentioned, oh, and by the way, like, you know, black guys are normally a little bit bigger and stronger. Not a single time has he ever mentioned it, to his credit. So that's that, right? Like, I don't think this guy should have said that. I don't think he should have brought race into it, but I also don't think it is, I think that to focus on that for too deeply, to kind of pick apart what this guy is saying, I think that's taking away focus from the actual issue here, which is that, you know, if we take the racial element out of it, I guess, which in my opinion doesn't really belong there to begin with, what it's really about is a group of old school fitness YouTubers being upset that Greg is calling them all out for being on steroids. Now, to be fair, he did bring up a fair point, right? If you accuse somebody of doing something illegal and you're wrong, because doing steroids is illegal, right? It is technically breaking the law. It is. Let's just leave it at that. If you accuse somebody and say, hey, you're breaking the law, and you're wrong, and you're just like, oh, sorry guys, I was wrong. You know, it's not, there is some sort of questionable, like, ethical issue there, right? Now, the other side of that is that if you are making money from your appearance, in terms of your like physical aesthetic, how your body looks, basically, if you're making money from that and you do not address the fact that you are taking illegal substances as a result, you know, in order to get that body, to get that look, then there's also an ethical issue there. And you know, it is fair to say, I guess, that if you are doing something illegal to get what you have, and you're selling products or supplements, like this guy's selling fucking whey protein and mass gainer, and I don't remember what the rest of the stuff was, maybe pre-workout maybe, and you're implying that those are main components or major components of getting the physique that you have, and you're not addressing the fact that you're actually taking steroids, there's an ethical issue there. So you know, there is a little bit of nuance in terms of how you word your, I guess, accusations, right? And as far as I know, Greg is very careful with what he says, right? Sure, from time to time, he'll like look at somebody like, yeah, of course this guy's on fucking something, right? Of course, look at him. But a lot of times he'll also say, I don't actually know, you know, who knows? But if I had to bet, if there was a gun to my head, I would bet that this guy is, because pretty impossible to look like that. But I do want to say, to this guy's credit, he does bring up a fair point where if you are accusing somebody of, maybe accusing is the wrong word, if you are implying that somebody is doing something illegal, even though you know, using steroids for personal use is not, like, nobody's gonna fucking bang on your door because you inject fucking steroids for yourself. Nobody's going to do that, really. Like, what cop is going to go do that? Cops do fucking steroids themselves. A bunch of cops are on steroids, you know, understandably. You know, they got to go deal with fucking criminals all day. Of course, you want a little bit of an extra boost if you have to do that. You're dealing with dangerous people. So it's kind of like, oh, you're accusing me of doing something illegal. You're putting me in a bad situation. And I think, actually, now that I think about it, I think that's why this is kind of boiling over now, because he accused Cali Muscle, and Cali Muscle was in prison, so he's got a record. I don't think he's on parole or anything, but like, if he was on parole and somebody accuses him, that's a big deal, you know. It's not something you want to do. So anyway, finishing that up, I do think that is I guess it's a fair criticism, you could say, of Greg and the Natty or Not videos, in that he is technically accusing them of doing something illegal. That is a true statement, what I just said, but it's not really, it's like saying before weed was legal, right? Like, this guy's smoking a joint. Does he live in a state where weed is legal? I don't know. Probably, I guess. It's legal in most places. But if he wasn't and he was smoking the joint, we could say, or even if he wasn't on camera smoking the joint, be like, oh, you smoke weed. Like, you smoke weed all the time, don't you? It's like, yeah, that's illegal, but like, you know, nobody really cares. But anyway, let's go over that. I guess, later, and then we'll get into the rest of the video.
Shit, that's the problem, motherfuckers. You throw pain. How you gonna throw pain somebody's way and tell motherfucker how to respond to it? Get the fuck out of here, motherfuckers. Who the fuck do you think you are? Talking about who's natty. Now, motherfucker, you ain't even natural. You ain't fucking natural. Shit. If anybody should be talking about who natural or not, it should be the natural motherfucker. Hell, you mean? Talking about who natural or not. Shit. Motherfucker, you ain't natural? Shit. You have no swagger, no personality, no nothing. You're fucking dead inside. That's why you gotta go around picking on people. You are a parasite. Y'all know what a parasite is, right? A parasite is pretty much, I'm taking forever to load this motherfucker up. I don't know somebody talk shit, but y'all know what a parasite is? It's pretty much a motherfucking living organism that needs other living organisms to survive. And if you know anything about the law of vibration, guys, you know everything is energy, including us, right? We're all a combination of molecules and atoms. So, long story short, we are living organisms by default. This motherfucker is so dead inside, so empty inside, has no personality or nothing to offer the world. The only way he can be successful is bringing other people down. That makes him a parasite by default. And to prove my point, I got 50 grand. I put my money in my mouth. If I put 50 grand on it, cash. And what I'll do is I'll give you 10 grand up front, Greg, and then I'll give you the other 40 after the 12 months are complete. Go 12 months without talking shit about nobody else. Prove me wrong. Go 12 months of just working out, doing you, and see if you can still make it. He can't, guys. That's what a parasite is. And you don't believe me? You don't believe me? Here's a clip right here.
And provide a lot of stress. So when I'm in the hole, like when I'm really deep, the bar's going to feel about 100 pounds less than it actually is. So instead of 575, it's going to be like 470.
Greg, that wasn't even long ago. Where did this new voice come in, Greg?
1-5. If something had a 0 side effects, it's about a 0. He should.
Where did this voice come in? Where did this character come in? Let me tell you why this character come in. Motherfucker tried to be successful, being himself, and the shit didn't work. Simple as that. And he was resenting all the people that was successful.
All right, so then basically what he's going to say is going to go into the whole, like, oh, you tried to just be natural and be yourself. Nobody watched your videos. So now you have to, like, be this character where you scream all the time and you do all the little, you know, weird stuff, right? So I've watched like half this video already, right? I watched it yesterday and I only just today decided to make a reaction to it because I realized that this thing is actually way bigger. This is like blowing up on YouTube right now. So I think it's important to, yeah, fine, I'm doing it for the views, blah, blah, blah. But I think it's important to clarify what's really going on here, so that people understand the bigger issue of the problems in the fitness industry, which are, number one, undisclosed use of anabolic steroids to achieve a certain physique. That's the main issue, really. And people like this building their career off of, you know, using steroids and not disclosing it, really. Hey, and this is something that's as old, you know, when I used to buy bodybuilding magazines back in the day, before there was the fucking internet, I would see these roided out bodybuilders, huge, fucking gigantic guys, way bigger than this guy, bigger than anybody would ever actually need to be. And it's like, nitro pump 360, you know, get massive pumps. And you see some dude like curling fucking 800 pounds or whatever. And you're like, wow, nitro pump 850 or 350, whatever. I need to get some of that. Like, this guy's probably not on steroids. You know, you don't put two and two together, because back there was no YouTube, there was no open discussion about this kind of thing. So you just assume that this guy got the way that he was because of, you know, hard training or whatever. And that doing steroids, that's something that like only a few people did, and like there were really bad side effects and it was this really awful thing. Whereas today we know that like most of them are, I don't want to say they're safe, but the risks of them, the actual risks that people talk about when it comes to steroids are way overblown. It's like the reefer madness thing back in, I don't know, wherever the fuck that was, the 50s, 60s or 20s or what the fuck. Where they said like, when you smoke weed, you'll go around raping women and fucking killing children and all this crazy shit. And in reality, you smoke weed and you're just going to fucking chill and watch TV and eat, you know, way too much popcorn. You know what I mean? So like, it's not really as bad as they say it is. When you do steroids, yeah, there are some risks for sure. You'll maybe fuck up your blood pressure and your lipid profile, and you might have to do a little bit more cardio and be a little bit more careful with what you eat. But all of the you know, bad mental side effects, let's say, that's very rare, other than, you know, a few compounds like trenbolone, for example. So the risks are way overblown, and it's anytime somebody gets popped for steroids in sports, it's this huge, like, disgraceful thing, like, oh my god, you cheated, you're a cheater. Meanwhile, all these guys in fucking sports, they're all using steroids. They're just figuring out how to cheat the test. And if you watch any of More Plates, More Dates' videos, you know that it's not hard to fucking cheat the test. You can be on, like, they tell them when the test is ahead of time. You know, they don't test for everything. They test for, like, the basic shit. And, you know, you can get away, essentially, like, go watch his videos. They're way more informative than this fucking 10-second little tangent. But you can basically do TRT. You can stay on TRT year round and just go off a week before the test, and nobody's going to fucking know. Nobody would actually ever know. They would have no idea. So anyway, you have guys like this who, to be fair, they're put in a very compromising situation where, similar to athletics, you have a lot of people who are cheating, right? Everybody's cheating. Everybody's doing it. And the name of the game no longer becomes, can you do it without cheating? It's, how well can you cheat without getting caught and still providing enough value so that the people who know you're cheating anyway, they just don't care. For example, Jeff Cavalier, right? The dude is pretty clearly on TRT. He's almost 50 years old. The dude has a crazy physique that is hard to maintain on TRT at any age. And the dude has maintained it for, you know, I don't even know how long. And he looks fucking amazing, right? But he started his whole fitness thing during a time, specifically his YouTube fitness thing, during a time where talking about steroids and admitting that you did steroids is very taboo, and you're not allowed to do it. And you go on record as saying, no, I've never done steroids, for so long that you can't just turn around one day 15 years later and be like, oh yeah, actually I am on steroids. Same thing with Mike O'Hearn, right? Mike O'Hearn's another great example. The dude is obviously fucking blasting all kinds of shit. And when I watch Mike O'Hearn videos occasionally, once every few months. And you can kind of see in his eyes, he really just wants to come out and say that he's on fucking gear. Just do it, Mike. Just come out and fucking say that you're on gear. Just come out and say it. Nobody actually cares. And that's the crazy thing, is that nobody cares if any of these guys are on fucking steroids. It does not matter. The only people that care, the only time anybody will actually care, is people who are brand new to fitness, brand new to any of this shit, and they discover you for the first time, and they're making that initial assessment where they look at you and they look at your physique and they look at your recommendations for training and nutrition, and they think to themselves, okay, is that what's responsible for this guy's results, or is he also on some sort of gear? That is the only time. Anybody, any like high level beginner beyond, they look at these people, at all these fucking fitness celebrities, whatever you want to call them, and they just don't really care if they're on fucking gear or not. Because once you get enough experience, you're able to separate the, you know, I guess the genetics and the results from the steroids from the actual fitness instruction, let's call it. Anyway.
Successful. Now that he's the exception to the...
Oh, and I just want to say, I guess, one really quick thing about, like, you know, is Greg Doucette only popular because he's picking on other people? I think it's a bigger issue than that, right? It's not personal. It's not like he's looking at like this guy and thinking to himself like, I'm going to ruin this guy's life and fucking ruin his career. It's like, you look at him, people want to know, and this is really what it comes down to, what I just talked about. People want to know, okay? It's crazy to me, and I've made fucking hundreds of videos talking about this, where when I talk about anything to do with fitness, I get so bored talking about it because the shit is literally the same every single time. Go to the fucking gym, eat normal healthy food, work out, and don't eat garbage. That's it. That's fitness right there. We don't need to talk about it anymore. It doesn't need to be an industry. It's like, how are people paying money to fucking hear information about this and for coaching on this? It's fucking retarded. But the problem is that you have a lot of people who have unrealistic, insane physiques because of steroids, who are promoting anything and implying that their results are from the programs that they sell or the supplements that they sell or their fucking diet plan or whatever, and not mentioning the fact, completely omitting it, lying basically, even though it's a lie of omission, it's a white lie, or I guess, is a white lie a live omission? Anyway, they're not mentioning the fact that they're on steroids, which is a major component of why they have the physique that they have.
The rule, you know, it's not very common to see people like him be successful. You know, people like him usually belong in the gutter. He got lucky. You know, he found the lane and it paid off. You feel me? Now he's using his platform to bring pain. I don't know if you know this, motherfucker, but it's 2020. People are stressed out. People been able to go to the gym. People are losing their jobs. And instead of using your channel to promote some kind of peace, you know, some kind of love, some kind of, you know, passion, bringing people together, all you want to do is pull a magnifying glass or turn fast and shit people are doing. How you gonna go around talking about who's natty or not? Motherfucker, you ain't even natty. Like, that fucking baffles me. Like, you got your little house, you got your little channel going, you got your little girlfriend, you got 1,000 zoo animals and shit. Like, why are you happy? I know why you're not happy. You're not happy with yourself. Motherfucker, you don't even like yourself. Nobody even likes you. That's why you have to change your whole character. You don't like you, and nobody else likes you. You can't even be, what? Be yourself. You can't even be your motherfucking self. And it's funny, you know, I'm being kind of an asshole right now. I can tell you one thing, I'm being me. No. You can go to the POG channel for these greatness channel, guys. I already know how to build a channel being myself. You just gotta stay consistent and watch this. I'm about to show y'all guys how to boost your clout. You feel me? Boost awareness while still being yourself. I remember you got mad at Cali Muscle for bringing up your girlfriend. And look, I'm not about bringing up girlfriends either. But what you can't do is disrespect a man's peace and tell him how to respond. So as far as I'm concerned, fuck it. I think Cali had every right to do it, say what the fuck he said. You shouldn't have been interrupting his motherfucking peace. That motherfucker wasn't even thinking about you. And this proves that you were running out of content. Because really, did we honestly, I think we can all agree that nobody needed a natty or not video about Cali Muscle. I think that's one natty or not episode we could have all done without. This motherfucker's running out of content. You don't even like yourself. That's why you gotta ride that bike all day. You trying to run from yourself, motherfucker. There be the motherfuckers with the most shit to talk, with the most shit to hide. I see through this motherfucker. He's 45 years old doing this type of shit. He hates his motherfucking life. I know you got mad at your girlfriend being brought up. I'm bringing her up. And this is not no disrespect. I'm just asking a question. Ma'am, I think her name is Allie, right, ma'am? And tell me if I'm wrong. You got with this 45-year-old man because you're tired of the childish games. You know what I'm saying? You want a man who's ready to put those childish games behind him and be a fucking man. That's why you got an older gentleman, correctly? I know he's disappointing you. This motherfucker working out all day, come home, shave his body, prepping his meals, and then wants to spend hours watching other men looking for their flaws so he can make videos talking about other men's flaws. When he's a flawed motherfucker, his goddamn self, who don't even like his goddamn self. Ma'am, I know you're disappointed, but the only reason why you're with him is because you see a little good in him. I know that's why. You see the little good in him. Unfortunately for us, we don't see that good. All we see is some motherfucker who figured out how to use the energies of the world to his advantage. Did this motherfucker go to college to be like...
So the first time I watched this, I was like, I disliked him a lot more, this Chris Jones guy. I did, not gonna lie. I was like, this guy's a fucking, this is like one of the dumbest people I've ever seen in my life. That's what I thought the first time. Now watching it again, I see things that I didn't see the first time, which is that I think he's just doing this to sell shit on Black Friday. I'm not lying. I think he's just doing this to get views on his video so that people buy the fucking protein powder. Not even lying. I thought originally, I was like, wow, this guy really hates Greg Doucette. Like, why does he hate him so much? Why is he so butthurt that he's calling out fake natties, really? But now I'm like, oh, he just wanted to fucking sell his fucking protein powder. And I mentioned this in the last video that I did about the Tiger Fitness guys, where I was like, think about it like this. You have two options. Or let's say your goal. What is your goal, right? Think and fine, hindsight is 20/20. You don't always think of this stuff ahead of time, right? But like what is your goal essentially? Is it really to ruin Greg Doucette's life and career? I don't think so. I really don't think so, because this is not the way to do it. And I don't think, not that I'm saying these guys are like the smartest guys in the world, but I don't think they're that dumb that they think that they could ruin somebody's career by posting a fake, a link to a story about Greg getting arrested and saying that he's a snitch, and just like throwing that out there and expecting everybody to believe it without doing any research, because people are obviously going to look into that, right? This is something that has been mentioned before. Anybody who's been following, Greg for a long time, or a year, for him, that's a long time, right? Anybody who's been following him for any length of time, you know that he's talked about this many times. He's brought up the whole issue of snitching, where, really quick, well, he'll talk about it. I guess we'll get to that in a second. But people are going to look into that. You can pull up court documents and you can fucking read about that shit. At least in the United States, you can. I would assume it's the same in Canada, similar legal system. So you can look into that, and if it turns out that your accusations are not true, which is easily verifiable by fucking court documents, then you're going to look really stupid, really. This is not the way to take somebody down. Like, there's other ways, I would assume. So then it seems to me that the only thing that would be left would be to promote your Black Friday sale and get people to buy your fucking headband or whatever. But if that's the case, and like I said, I mentioned this in the Tiger Fitness video, if that's what you're actually trying to do, there's way better ways to do that. With cooperation with Greg Doucette, you can reach out and say, hey, love your videos, bro. Let's make a collaboration. We have this new protein powder flavor that we want to promote. You know, maybe we can make a video, or even forget about that. Just like, let's make a Black Friday video, fucking make a turkey or some shit. I don't know, anything. Instead of doing what you're doing now, because this is, you know, they say there's no such thing as bad publicity, but I think the one form of bad publicity is public embarrassment. Really, it's like you don't want to be. Nobody likes to be embarrassed publicly, really, and this is kind of embarrassing to go on record and throw a tantrum, really, because there's a YouTuber calling out people who are hiding their steroid use and making a lot of money from it, building their career on lying about, you know, how they're getting the results that they are getting, really. Yeah, anyway.
Like a kinesiologist or some shit like that. But then you get arrested for trying to flip them steroids. Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah, motherfucker trying to go border to border flipping them fucking steroid keys. You feel me? El Chapo. So I guess you an educated motherfucker and a stupid motherfucker all at the same motherfucking time, huh, Mr. Greg? I bet you can't go a year without talking about nobody. I bet you can't. That's okay. You don't have to. Keep doing what the fuck you're doing. I'm gonna show you how it's done now. You feel me? I know you got your little fanboys gonna just like my channel and shit, dislike my videos. You know, I don't care about that. See, I'm one of the chill. See, like you, Greg, how you're the exception to the rule. You know, a piece of shit that happened to get some success. See, I'm the exception to the rule. I'm a self-made motherfucker. You feel me? And I don't care what people think. They can dislike my motherfucking video. I know they're coming. I'm talking straight to you, motherfucker. I don't like that shit. We come to the fitness world to get away from the stress, to get away from the insecurity, to build ourselves up and build the others around us. This motherfucker is literally doing the devil's work. He is literally doing the devil's work. No way in hell the good Lord is telling this motherfucker to go around exposing people's flaws and weaknesses and accusing them of doing illegal things. How the fuck you get arrested for trying to sell steroids, right? You don't do no time. Don't do no time. You do house arrest. And now you're all on the internet pointing out people who's doing steroids. Oh, you a policeman? This motherfucker the police. Goddamn. Allie, please don't tell me you got what a snitching ass fuckboy. Please. Please. It's bad enough for your fuckboy, but he ain't no snitching. Please don't tell me he's snitching. Goddamn. Motherfucking shit going out fucking with this motherfucker. Well, I see right through this motherfucker, bro. I can't believe y'all even see through this cat, bro. I bet I can make a few calls to Canada and get this whole motherfucker's life story. But yeah, I use your name to get a little views. But yeah, y'all gotta go to tigerfitness.com. Support that 25% off sale. And cookbook coming too. I'm gonna do a cookbook, you know. He got a nice little cookbook. I think Greg needs some competition. I'm gonna do double the recipes, but I'm gonna sell my cookbook half the price, guys. I'm gonna do that for the people, man. I'm gonna do that for Greg. I feel like Greg needs a little competition. Who better than compete with you than the opposite?
All right. So this is what I wanted to talk about, right? And again, like I said, I think that this whole video, I think he's just being extra asshole-ish to cause a stir, to get people to talk about what's going on so he can promote fucking Tiger Fitness. That's really what I think this is. I think this is 80% that and 20% dislike for or discomfort at Greg exposing people's, you know, fake natty status, let's just call it, which is really exposing you know, their misleading information about how they're getting the results that they're getting, which implies dishonesty and lack of trust. So I think you know, regarding the whole like snitching or did he snitch or not, one thing that people have to understand is that if you're a first-time offender and you are selling something that steroids are not narcotics, right? In the United States, they're Schedule 4. And also in, I think, Canada, also, they're Schedule 4. So it's not like he wasn't selling, he didn't get caught with fucking, you know, fucking 20 keys of cocaine or, you know, crystal meth or something. then he'd probably be in jail. Really, then he would probably be in jail and he'd probably have to snitch, because that's really bad. You know what I mean? But anabolic steroids, it's kind of, I don't want to say it's a victimless crime, but it is kind of a victimless crime. Like who are you hurting? Because you could say with meth or fucking cocaine or even weed, you could say that like you're harming the fabric of society, you're getting people addicted to drugs, even though you can't really get addicted to weed, you know what I'm saying? Like it'll make people lazy, less motivated, they won't work as much. You could say, right, you could make that argument, they won't care for their family as well. It will kind of break apart society, you know, in some way, you could say that. And with meth and coke or ecstasy, even more so the case, right? But steroids, it's like, what, you know, you're giving it to people so that they have a better workout in the gym. Like is that, you know, it's one of these things. It's like, why is it even illegal? Really? It's like, why is it illegal? What's the reason for it being illegal? Let's take sports out of the equation, right? Like it can be banned in sports and still be legal for your average guy to take. The reason, I think, is because if the side effects are not managed properly, it can fuck up your health. Really. It's like, it's something that your average person, your average American, or probably even Canadian, is so fucking stupid and is not prepared to take it properly, that if you just let them buy it in the store, then they'll probably, you know, fuck up the dosage somehow and kill themselves because they're fucking retarded. Your average person is really fucking stupid and not going to put in the time to learn how to do it properly. That's the one argument for why it would be illegal. So if you're selling that, you know, you have to jump through a lot of hoops to actually get your hands on it. You know, it's not easy to fucking take most steroids, right? Most of them are not a pill that you can pop. A lot of them are fine. There's oral steroids, but like, you got to buy the needle. You got to know how to do the injection. You got to know how to fucking get the vial, right? You got to know how often to do it. Like, you got to be super motivated. You already have to be like going to the gym, really. Most people who take them go to the gym, or are at least planning on going to the gym in the near future. How many people even fucking go to the gym, really? Your average person, like 1 in 100 people actually go work out, something like that. I don't know, I just made that number up. But the point is that if you get caught with a lot of steroids and you're selling them, it's not really the type of crime where, you know, he's not like moving drugs for the cartel. You know what I mean? There's nobody to snitch on. What is he going to say? Like, yeah, I ordered a bunch of fucking raw powder from China and mixed it in my bathtub. You want me to snitch on fucking Zhao Jinping, my fucking Chinese supplier from Alibaba? Like, who are you going to snitch on anyway? Really? And that's fine. That's not even the point. The point is this, is that if you're a first-time offender and you get caught with Schedule 4 drugs, even if with intent to distribute, you can get a lawyer. And in a country like Canada, where the laws are much more relaxed, or the punishments for breaking the law are much more relaxed, you don't need they're not going to ask you to snitch because you're a first-time offender. They'll give you a little slap on the wrist. They'll fine you. They'll put you under house arrest, and that'll be it. It'll be done. Little personal story, right? When I was younger, I, you know, did some bad stuff legally, right? Ethically, I don't know if it was really that bad, but anyway, we won't get into it. Got caught with a considerable amount of illegal drugs, way worse than steroids, way worse. I got an intent to distribute charge on my record, along with a couple other charges. Didn't have to snitch on anybody. Did not snitch on a single person. Did not spend a single day in prison. Didn't even go to court. Got a lawyer. Fucking handled that shit right away. And, you know, there were some programs that I had to do, but I didn't have to snitch on anyone. They didn't like put me under the bright lights and say like, we're going to send you away to prison for years unless you tell us who you bought this from. Not even close. And I told myself already right away, I was like, they can put me away for as long as they want. I'm not going to fucking say anything, because it's an issue. It's like an honor issue, right? And I know everybody says that until you actually get into the situation and they're talking about fucking up your life, and everybody makes those decisions when they're in a situation where they have to make them, right? It's easy to do a thought experiment and say, oh yeah, I would totally stand up to the Nazis if I was in, you know, fucking 1934 Germany. But anyway, you get the idea, right? Is that it never... When you're in a state or country with very liberal laws for drug offenders, You don't actually have to make that decision. You get a lawyer, you pay a little bit of money, they fucking go to the court and they say, my client's a first-time offender. There's this statute for first-time offenders where if they get caught with this, this, and this, we can apply to fucking not have them, you know, go to prison or go to trial. And if you let him off, you know, I'll invite you to my Christmas party. Shit like that. Happens all the time with lawyers. So this whole slanderous argument of like, oh, I see you got caught with steroids and you didn't do any jail time. Like, it's not that cut and dry. And you would think, no offense to this guy, but like this guy, if I had to bet, I would bet that this guy has experience with the legal system. You know what I mean? If not personally, right? He knows people who have a lot of experience with the legal system. That's one of the things that I noticed when I was going through the legal system, is that the I don't want to call them career criminals, but like people who have been through the legal system, people who've been arrested and gone to court and gone to arraignments, and like they know about all the charges, they know about all the statutes, right? I'm not talking about lawyers and cops or judges. I'm talking about like citizens who just keep fucking up and keep getting arrested, right? I'm not saying this guy has, you know what I mean? But he's kind of street, like kind of like, I don't want to say like, not a thug in terms of like he's going robbing old ladies, but he's got the whole like, you know, I don't even know, like what's the politically correct term? He's like a thug, like a gangster, you know what I mean? Like, yo, like, does he have a fucking diamond chain? I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised. No offense to him. He's not wearing the diamond chain right now. Maybe he doesn't like diamond chains. I don't know. I see a lot of people who maybe have some. Anyway, let's not get into it. Let's not make this, I'm just going to shut up, digging myself into a deeper hole. But anyway, you get what I'm saying, right? I wouldn't be surprised if this guy knows. So the point is that if he knows about it already, like there's more solutions to like why somebody didn't go to jail than just, you know, he snitched on everyone and that's why he's not in jail, right? That's a very weak argument that presents no evidence, other than like, well, you know, if you were actually caught and you know, if they wanted to send you to jail, they could have, and they could have pressured you. But like, you know, the dude has a master's in kinesiology, first-time offender, I'm assuming. He's not like, it's not like he comes from like a family of criminals, not from a bad neighborhood, educated guy. Anyway, let's finish this.
See, we're complete opposites. You're white, I'm black. You're kind of jacked. You know, I'm a smaller guy. You know, you're super good looking, I'm not. You know what I'm saying, right? Super good looking, I'm not. I'm an opposite. You know, I'm a rough motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? I'm self-made, did it on my own, did it with my soul. You need to suck other motherfuckers' souls because you have none. This is polarity at its finest. This is the definition of duality. Oh my God, I saw my opposite. The reverse flash in this motherfuckers. But anyway, guys, I'll talk to you guys later.
Yeah, so the more that I watch this, I think it's just, he's just trying to start beef because he knows that Greg Doucette is like up-and-coming YouTuber, very popular, very reactive when it comes to making responses to videos that call him out. And if we want to look at this like strategically, like what I think that this guy did wrong, like, because let's say that the goal was to get Greg Doucette to mention him to sell his fucking intra pump. Is this BCAAs? Oh my God, you can't make this shit up. That's so funny. That's so funny. It's like, what's the joke is that if you sell BCAAs, you're fucking an idiot fitness influencer. Because there's BCAAs in everything, in every kind of protein, in like whey protein, in fucking red meat. Like, you don't need to take extra BCAAs. Now that said, and that's like the joke in the fitness world, is that if you promote BCAAs, you actually don't know anything. You don't know that one simple fact that BCAAs are basically unnecessary. That said, I do take leucine, which is one of the BCAAs, which seems to be the most effective. I do take that pre-workout, and it does seem to actually help. But you don't need all three BCAAs. You can just take leucine, which is way cheaper. The shit is fucking overpriced as fuck. Anyway, strategically, if we want to look at this and say, like, what did this guy do wrong? If his goal was to get Greg Doucette to beef with him and to mention him and to give him clout and views and all that stuff, he laid it on way too thick. Like, Cali Muscle was way more chill about it. He was like, you know what, Greg, like, I'm sorry, you're like a weak little bitch, like, I didn't mean to offend you, you know, your girlfriend's ugly, okay, done. right? This guy was like, this motherfucker, I'm a fucking gangster. Like, I'm black, you're white, like, you're my opposite. You can't get anywhere in life without tearing people down. This guy's clearly not afraid to get his hands dirty, you know, to his credit, I guess. But not the most effective strategy. Like, if you had just been a little bit more subtle, right? If you had just like casually dismissed Greg and casually mentioned that, like, you know, he was a snitch or something, right? Then he would have, because I didn't fucking know who Chris Jones was. Greg didn't even mention his name. I had to fucking do research. And like, I'd never heard of Chris Jones. This guy's 500,000 subscribers almost. I never fucking heard of this guy in my life. You know what I mean? So interesting like to dislike ratio. I would not be surprised to find out that these are fake likes. Let's just take a look and see if these are fake likes or not. So let's see here. Oops. So what I think happened, yeah, so 1.4 to 460. Yeah, so all this guy's videos are getting disliked here. 1.7 to 255. And how old are these? A couple days. So let's see here. Scroll down. Ho ready with no hose. Come on. So I don't know. Does this? I don't know anything about this guy. I don't know. He seems pretty popular, I guess. I don't know if those are fake likes. I'd be surprised if they're not. It's just surprising to me how anybody would not like Greg Doucette and they would like what this guy says more. I guess I just have a higher expectation for your average person's intelligence. Not talking about him. I mean, you have to have some level of intelligence to get this popular, I think. I mean, your average viewer, like, how could you not see what they're doing here, right? Because on the one hand, I think this is just a coordinated effort by Beastmode Jones and Tiger Fitness, and probably with some like cheering on the side by Cali Muscle, and oh look who it is, Teron Beckham also, who also was called out recently by Greg Doucette. Like, right? He's they I guess they feel personally attacked that Greg is like attacking their whole crew. So what it seems like is that this is a coordinated effort by Beastmode Jones, Tiger Fitness, to smear Greg. It's like have to smear Greg and end his career, I guess, which I don't think is really the case. I think that's just a facade to drive traffic to their Black Friday offer and to Tiger Fitness, because I didn't fucking know who this guy was before this. I'm sure many other people didn't either. Like, this guy, but he's apparently an old school YouTuber. How long has this guy been on YouTube? 6 years. It's a long time. And pretty popular too, it looks like. All of his videos have a ton of views. But I don't know. Anyway, what do you guys think about that? Let me know. Leave me a comment. Where do you stand on this whole Greg Doucette, Beastmode Jones, Tiger Fitness drama? Is this guy justified in making this video? Did he go too far? Is it all just a bunch of fake news to sell their protein powder? Let me know. Leave me a comment. Peace.